The arena roared with anticipation. Thousands of alien voices filled the Colosseum, their guttural tones echoing off the towering obsidian walls. Above, banners of alien houses fluttered, embroidered with clawed beasts, radiant suns, and serpentine sigils. It was not a mere contest, it was a test of supremacy. The challenge was simple: an honored duel between the warrior caste of the Zorith Dominion and a representative of the Terran Coalition. The Zorith had invited humans into their empire not as equals, but as an amusement, certain of their superiority. To them, humanity was young, fragile, untested. This duel would prove it once and for all. At the center of the arena stood Kayla Vare, daughter of High Warlord Theros. She was tall even among her kind, standing over 7 feet. Her skin a gleaming bronze with faint stripes of iridescent scales running across her shoulders and down her arms. Her eyes glowed faintly amber, predatory, and her muscles rippled beneath her ceremonial armor, minimal by Zorith standards, designed to flaunt strength, not conceal it. Kayla smirked, raising her twin blades as the crowd cheered. She was already a legend, undefeated in 100 duels, breaker of champions, heir to a dynasty of conquest. And across from her stood the human, Elias Ward. He looked utterly unremarkable, at least to alien eyes. Barely 6 feet tall, shorter and slighter than Kayla. His body lean rather than bulky. He wore simple combat gear, no armor beyond a chestplate, and in his hands he carried no glowing weapons, no exotic tech. Only a standard-issue human combat knife and a short staff. Kayla sneered at him openly. This is what humanity sends to represent their warriors. A thin-blooded man with little more than sticks and scraps. The crowd laughed, jeered, and stomped. Elias did not respond. He simply adjusted his grip on the staff, calm, his eyes steady. The announcer's booming voice shook the air. Let the challenge begin. The beginning clash. Kayla wasted no time. With a predatory roar, she lunged, her twin blades flashing in a storm of metallic arcs. Her strikes were faster than most eyes could follow. Overhead slashes, spinning cuts, thrusts designed to overwhelm. Elias dodged. Not with panicked retreats, but with precise, minimal motions. A tilt of his body here, a sidestep there. His staff intercepted her blades just enough to redirect them, never locking, never wasting strength. The crowd murmured in confusion. Kayla pressed harder, her movements a blur of muscle and fury. Her strikes carved gouges in the arena floor, sparks erupting when blades met staff. Still, Elias flowed like water, never letting her strikes land cleanly. Then snap. With a sharp twist, Elias struck her wrist with the butt of his staff, forcing one blade from her hand. It clattered across the sand. The crowd gasped. Kayla snarled, retreating a step, glaring at him. Lucky strike, human. Don't think it will happen again. But Elias only smiled faintly. That wasn't luck. Pride and pressure. Her pride stung. Kayla redoubled her assault. She fought with raw strength, each blow meant to crush bone, to flatten the human into the dirt. She expected him to falter, to panic, to show the weakness she was sure lay beneath his calm. But he didn't. Elias's movements were measured, his breathing even. Where Kayla relied on her species' superior strength, Elias used timing. When she overextended, he shifted her momentum against her. When she slashed high, he ducked and struck low. Each exchange drained more of her stamina than his. And then came the moment that made the crowd fall silent. Kayla launched a leaping overhead strike, her remaining blade descending with the force of a hammer. Elias sidestepped, his staff rising in a smooth arc, and with one motion he caught her behind the knee. Kayla's leg buckled. The mighty Zorith warrior fell to one knee before the human. Gasps rippled across the arena. Elias could have ended the fight there with a knife to the throat. Instead, he stepped back, lowering his staff. "Stand up," he said quietly. "You're not finished." The words were simple, but to Kayla, they burned worse than any wound. The middle a test of will. Fury boiled within her. She stood, chest heaving, humiliation twisting her gut. This was not how it was supposed to go. She was Kayla Vare, champion of the Dominion, heir to her father's throne. No human should have lasted this long, let alone forced her down. "You mock me," she hissed. "No," Elias said evenly. "I respect you. Enough not to end this too soon." Something in his voice struck her differently. Not arrogance, not pity. Genuine respect. And that unsettled her more than defeat. She roared again, charging with reckless abandon. Her blade became a whirlwind, her strikes fueled not by discipline but rage. Elias met her storm with patience, redirecting, deflecting, forcing her own fury to trip over itself. Strike by strike, her movements grew sloppy. Her muscles strained, her breathing labored. She had underestimated him, and now, with each passing second, her body betrayed her. Finally, Elias disarmed her completely, the blade flying from her hand to stick into the sand. With one sweep of his staff, he sent her sprawling onto her back. The arena erupted, some in shock, some in outrage. Kayla lay on the ground, chest heaving, sweat glistening on her bronze skin. For the first time in her life, she stared up at a foe standing above her. Elias extended a hand. Not as an executioner, as an equal. The turning point. Kayla hesitated, pride warring with reason. Taking his hand would mean acknowledging defeat. But refusing it would mean denying the truth she had already felt in every strike, every motion. She had been beaten. Slowly, she reached out and grasped his hand. His grip was firm, steady, pulling her to her feet. The crowd was in chaos, but Elias ignored them. His eyes stayed on hers. Strength isn't just muscle and fury. It's discipline, patience, will. You have power, Kayla, but power without control isn't enough. Her amber eyes locked onto his, searching for mockery. There was none. Only a strange calmness that unsettled her even more than his skill. For the first time, Kayla felt humbled. After the duel. By tradition, she should have declared him victor and bowed. But Kayla was more than a warrior. She was heir to a throne, and every word she spoke carried weight. Before the crowd, she raised her voice. This duel was meant to prove humanity's weakness. Instead, it has shown their strength. Gasps spread through the Colosseum. Never had a Zorith heir admitted such a thing. Kayla turned to Elias. You are no mere fighter, human. You are a warrior of true spirit. And I, she clenched her fist, forcing the words out, was wrong to think you beneath me. The arena erupted, half in outrage, half in awe. But it didn't matter. The seed had been planted. Elias bowed slightly, his expression calm. Then perhaps this was worth more than a duel. The ending lessons beyond battle. In the days that followed, rumors spread like wildfire. Whispers of the human who had humbled Kayla Vare reached every corner of the Dominion. Some called it dishonor. Others called it destiny. Kayla herself sought Elias out again, not as rival but as student of sorts. She wanted to understand what made him different, what gave him that unshakable calm. He trained with her, sparred with her, spoke of human history, of wars fought not with overwhelming strength, but with resilience, adaptation, and patience. And slowly, Kayla began to see.